Welcome to Dr. Digital College. It's Dr. Rashid Hashmi. I welcome you in the series of Let's Learn Smart. I'm explaining this paper for Cambridge International Examination. This is Biology paper 5090 of summer 2021 and the variant is 1-2. Time for this paper is 1 hour, but we might take here more than 1 hour because here I'll be explaining why is some answer of the question is wrong. So let's enjoy. In this question number 1, it is which row is correct? A is that is we have to check whether it is cell, tissue, organ and organ system from your chapter 1 of Cambridge International Examination Biology 5090. It is in the chapter 1. You have to know about what is the difference between cell, tissue, organ and organ system. So chloroplast is an organelle. Cell, sap vacuole is an organelle of the cell. Red blood cell is a cell and neuron is a cell. So A and B are wrong. Either C or D can be the correct answers. Now that is the tissue. Mesophil, yes, mesophilous tissue, it is a tissue, but we have already done A wrong. Red blood cell is a cell, so this is not a tissue. Sap vacuole, this is not a tissue, this is a cell organelle. So vascular bundle is a tissue. So this C is wrong. The answer should be D. Okay, for this question the answer should be D. Moreover, if you look at the organs, leaf is an organ and excretory system is an excretory system. Okay, so the answer for question 1 is D. In question 2, a piece of plant tissue is transferred from a beaker of water into a concentrated sugar solution. Which row describes what happens? You know that water will move from the water to the concentrated solution. Osmosis is always from dilute to concentrated solutions. So the water will move from water to the you know that if the plant tissue is present in the beaker of water, it means it was present in dilute solution. Water is something dilute, so a lot of water must have entered into the cells of the plant tissue by endosmosis. Now when it will be transferred to the concentrated sugar solution, what will happen? Water from the cells of this tissue will get out. So the movement of water will be out of the cell rather than into the cell. So question A, answer A and B are wrong. C and D can be the correct answers. So the volume of the tissues, when water is getting out, volume should be decreased. It cannot be increased. So answer should not be D. Answer should be C for this question. So the answer for question 2 is C. In question 3, the following statements refer to the movement of substances in and out of the cells. Energy from the respiration is required. You know that ATP energy is required for active transport as well as endocytosis and exocytosis. Energy from respiration is not required. Energy is not required for diffusion osmosis. Okay, movement occurs down a concentration gradient. In diffusion and osmosis, concentration can occur down the movement can occur down the concentration gradient, while in active transport movement can be down as well as against the concentration gradient. Net movement is from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration, because you know for diffusion and osmosis it is always movement in both direction, low to high, high to low, but the net movement is always from high concentration to the lower concentration. Net movement is from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. So it is in active transport that it is always from low to high concentration. Which statements apply to the active transport? You know that for active transport ATP energy is required. One is this. Okay, movement occurs, net movement will occur from a region of low concentration to a region of higher concentration. So this is always true only for active transport. So the answer for this question should be B. So the answer for question 3 is B. Question 4. Which word describes an enzyme that has its active site changed by the high temperature? Okay, so you know that in your chapter of enzymes you have already studied, you have always studied that at high temperature enzymes are denatured. So this is the specific term which is called denatured for proteins as well as enzymes. Destroy is an absolute term that it is totally damaged, so this is not applied for the enzymes. Deleted mean it is altogether removed from the structure of the enzyme, so it is not deleted. Similarly, distortion can be a minor level of change or it can be a bigger level of change, so this is not the distortion. So the correct answer for question 4 is that the active site of an enzyme at high temperature is denatured. In question 5, hydrogen carbonate indicator changes the color according to the concentration of the carbon dioxide, okay, present. The table shows how hydrogen carbonate indicator changes the color of the hydrogen carbonate indicator. This is just the recall of memory for you, that it is orange, or in some time it is also called red or the orange, yellow and the purple. Purple is when the carbon dioxide concentration is lower than the carbon dioxide concentration in atmosphere. Yellow higher than atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration, and the red or the orange is atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration. When it is 0.03%, it's like this. When it is more than 0.03%, it is yellow. When it is less than 0.03%, it is purple. Okay, 4 test tubes were set up under different conditions. The color of hydrogen carbonate indicator in each test tube at the start of the experiment and after 1 hour is shown below. Which test tube shows that the rate of photosynthesis and the respiration are the same? You know that if rate of photosynthesis and rate of respiration are same, the product of photosynthesis will be used in respiration and the product of respiration will be used in photosynthesis. So there will not be any change in the concentration of carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide concentration should remain equal to that in atmosphere. So the color should remain orange or the red. So if we will say that in dim light it stays orange, in darkness the orange to yellow it will become, in darkness only respiration will occur and more CO2 will be there, so it will become yellow. In dim light it will stay orange because the rate of respiration is equal to rate of photosynthesis, because at dim light lesser level of photosynthesis will occur that will equal to the rate of respiration. Okay, so here it will stay orange. In light it will convert orange to purple, because when more light is there, rate of photosynthesis will be much higher than the rate of respiration. As a result, more of carbon dioxide will be absorbed than it is produced by respiration. As a result, the color of hydrogen carbonate indicator will change from red to orange. While in case of D, it is in light and it's converting from yellow, orange to yellow. Okay. In light, as it is there an aquatic snail, photosynthesis is occurring, but the rate of for respiration is higher than the rate of photosynthesis, because plant is respiring as well as this animal is respiring. That's why the color is being changed from orange to yellow. So the demand of question is, which test tube shows that the rate of photosynthesis and the respiration are same? In where the color is not changed, it will stay red or orange. The two rates are equal. So the answer for question 5 is B. Okay. In question 6, which describes the upper cuticle of a leaf. It's a permeable layer allowing water to enter the leaf. You know that this is not a permeable layer, so this is waxy cuticle, a single layer of the cells. So this is not the layer of cells. Epidermis is the layer of cells. Cuticle is a waxy layer. It's a chemical. A single layer of transparent cells. So once again, these are not the cells. Okay, a thin non-cellular layer preventing water loss from the leaf. Yes, this is a vexillary, so the answer for question 6 is D. In question 7, a lack of certain mineral ions affects the rate growth of young plants. Okay, which effects are caused by the lack of magnesium ions and a lack of nitrate ions. You know that magnesium is needed for the formation of chlorophyll, while the nitrates are needed for the formation of amino acids as well as chlorophyll. So the lack of magnesium, the leaves will become dark green. No, it is not possible. They will become rather yellow. The leaves go yellow in patches. Yeah, it is. The plant is unable to form the enzymes. No, magnesium may not be present in some enzymes, so C is wrong. The plant is unable to form the root hair. No, this is not there, because in the root hair cells there is no chlorophyll. So answer should be B for this. Now let's have a double check. Lack of nitrate ions. In the B it is said the plant is unable to form the proteins. Yeah, you know that the products of photosynthesis, they are integrated with the nitrates to form the amino acids and then proteins. So the answer for question 7 is B. Okay. In question 8, the graph shows some of the nutrients found in peanuts. Percentage nutrient concentration, it is on y-axis. It is depending upon the sugars. It is depending upon what type of nutrients are there: sugars, fats, and the proteins. Okay. A student tested the peanuts with the 4 food tests. Okay. Which row shows the results? You know that in the peanuts, the percentage nutrient will be highest for the fats, because peanuts are the dry fruits. In them it will be the highest one. Okay, so Benedict test will be yellow because sugars are present. Biuret test is purple, yes, because proteins are present. Ethanol emulsion test, it will form the white emulsion because a lot of fats are there. Iodine test will remain brown because no starch is shown here. We do not know whether some starch are present in peanuts or not, but it's not shown here by this analysis. So the answer for this question should be A, because it is giving positive test for sugars, positive test for proteins, positive test for the fats, but the negative test for the starch. So the answer for this question should be A. Okay, because why are B, C and D wrong? Because Benedict test color can never be black. It should not be the black. C is red, that is true. Okay, because sugars are present. Biuret is purple, that is true. Ethanol is clear. No, it cannot be clear because a lot of fats are available. For D, it is saying that there are no sugars. Benedict test is negative. Protein test, the Biuret test is negative. It's telling us that there are no sugars and no proteins, so that is wrong. So the answer for this question is A. In question 9, which row shows factors that may contribute to the famine? Okay, it is climate change causing the drought. Yes, if in some area, if the drought is there, production of the food will be less than its consumption. So C is wrong because it is saying that it cannot contribute to the famine. Destruction of the tropical forests. Yes, destruction of the tropical forest can lead to famine because this is the part of our food. Okay, so for B it is wrong. Destruction of the tropical forests, directly it's not involving, indirectly it can involve in the long run. Okay, flooding, it is directly involved, so D is wrong. Okay, on the basis of destruction of the tropical forests, if we say that it is not directly involved, okay, then A is wrong and C is wrong. B can be or D can be the answer, because destruction of the tropical forest in the long run can affect but not in the short run. Okay, so that's why I'm not including it. I'm saying no for destruction of the tropical forests. Flooding is directly involved because your stored food, your standing crops, and the cattle, they can be destroyed. So it will directly involve in setting the famine in some area. Okay, increased human population, yes, it is directly involved in some area. If increased human population will be there, consumption will increase than the production, so it will be directly involved. Similarly, increased use of fertilizers, it cannot be involved at all, because when you will use more fertilizers, more production should be there. So this is, if it is said no, so yes, it is no. So the answer for question 9 should be B. Now in question 10, the diagram shows part of the human alimentary canal and associated organs. You know that this is stomach, 2 is the pancreas, 3 is the small intestine, or you could say ileum, 4 is the gallbladder, and the 5 is liver. Okay, which row describes the functions of the parts shown in the diagram? Okay, so structure 1 is for the digestion of proteins. Yes, it is for the digestion of proteins. Structure 3, what is 3? The intestine. This is for absorption of the products of the digestion. Yes, it is absorbing the products of digestion. So the answer for this question should be A. Okay, why are B, C and D wrong? It is said that structure 2, it is emulsifying the fats. Structure 2 is the pancreas. Pancreas is not emulsifying the fats. Okay, so this is wrong. Structure 3 is C is the structure 4. It is producing the bile. What is structure 4? Structure 4 is the gallbladder. Gallbladder is not producing the bile. Liver is producing the bile. Gallbladder is just storing it. Similarly, for D, it is for storing the digestive enzymes. You know that in the gallbladder, 4 is the gallbladder. Gallbladder is not storing any digestive enzymes. So is 2 is making digestive enzymes. Yes, 2 is making digestive enzyme because it is pancreas. 5 is making digestive enzymes. 5 is, you know that 5 is the liver. Liver is not making any digestive enzymes. It's producing only bile. Bile has no enzymes. 3 is absorption of the amino acids and the glucose. Yes, that is true for 3, but we have already made B, C, D wrong because here they are not matching. So the answer for question 10 is A. In question 11, how does water enter the root hair cell? Okay, from high to low water potential by active transport. Keep it in mind that water will never enter or leave the cells by active transport, because water is the most extensive chemical present in life, so it's always moving by osmosis. So it will move from high to low water potential by osmosis. Yes, this is true. So A is wrong, B is the true answer for question 11. Why is C wrong? From low to high water potential by active transport. You know that once again it is active transport. That is wrong. From low to high water potential by osmosis. Osmosis cannot occur from low to high water potential. So A, C and D are the wrong options. Only for question 11, B is the correct answer. In question 12, the diagram shows the pathway of water molecules through part of a leaf seen under microscope in transverse section. Where does water evaporates? You know that when water is moving from one cell to another cell, this is osmosis. As it's moving at A and B, this is osmosis. And at C, as it is coming away from the surface of spongy mesophilous cells, this is evaporation. D is the transpiration, because water is already in the form of water vapors in air spaces, and from more water vapors to less water vapors, it is moving by transpiration. So D is transpiration, C is evaporation. That is the correct answer for question 12, and A and B are simply osmosis. For question 13, which row describes the function of the blood components? So first is plasma. Plasma is not making any antibodies because lymphocytes are making antibodies, so A is wrong. B, plasma is involved in clotting. Yes, it is involved in clotting. C, it is involved in clotting. Yes, it is involved in clotting. And D is transport of the nutrients. Yes, nutrients are transported through the plasma. So B, C, D could be the possible answers. A is wrong. Platelets are involved in clotting, but we have already made A wrong. Transport of the nutrients, this is not the job of the platelets, so B is wrong. Antibodies formation, platelets are not making antibodies. Okay, so C is wrong. And platelets are involved in clotting. Yes, platelets are involved in clotting. White blood cells, they are, for the D option, antibody formation. Lymphocytes are one kind of white blood cells, so they are making antibodies. So the answer for question 13 is D. In question 14, the diagram shows how the volume of blood in the left ventricle of a human heart changes during one heartbeat. Okay, when is the left ventricle contracting? Okay, so when you know that in A, the volume of the blood is increasing in the left ventricle. So when blood is coming into the ventricle, it cannot be contracted. In B, it is constant, means blood is not coming into it. Then volume is decreasing. When the volume is decreasing, it means it is contracting. It is throwing the blood out. Okay. In the C, it is continuously decreasing and then increasing. So we cannot say that it is only contraction. So we can say up to here it can be contraction, then it will be relaxation. So C cannot be the answer. So is in the D. In D, volume is increasing, mean it's relaxing, blood is coming into it. So the answer for this question is B. In question 15, the diagram represents the blood supplied to the liver and to the kidneys. Okay, which vessels contain blood with the highest and the lowest concentration of urea? You know that urea is produced in the liver, so when it is taken away from the liver, it will be highest concentration in blood vessel 1. Okay, and the job of kidneys is to filter out the urea. So when blood will get out of the kidneys, there will be least amount of urea ever present, that will be the 4. Okay, so the highest concentration will be in 1 and the lowest concentration will be there in 4. So that is true for B. So the answer for this question is B. In question 16, which statement is true for aerobic respiration? Okay, aerobic respiration in the human occurs mainly in the alveoli. Not mainly in alveoli, aerobic respiration occurs in every living cell. So that is not true. Aerobic respiration releases less energy than anaerobic respiration. This is an opposite statement because aerobic respiration will release more energy. Glucose is broken down to smaller molecules in aerobic respiration. Yes, this is true both for aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. Okay, because whether lactic acid is formed, alcohol is formed, ethanol is formed, or carbon dioxide and water are formed, they are all smaller than glucose. Oxygen is broken down to release energy in aerobic respiration. No, energy is not released by the breakdown of oxygen, rather energy is released by the breakdown of glucose. So that is wrong. So the answer for question 16 is, the true answer for question 16 is C. In question 17, the graph shows the concentration of substance X in a person's blood before, during and after exercise. Okay, so on x-axis the concentration of substance X in the blood is there. Exercise starts after the rest and exercise stops when the concentration of X is highest, and then it's gradually decreasing. What is substance X? Substance X: alcohol, glycogen, lactic acid and the urea. You know that urea has nothing to do directly with the exercise. Lactic acid is produced in anaerobic respiration. Glycogen is broken down during exercise, so its concentration cannot increase. Similarly, if alcohol is there by exercise, alcohol concentration cannot be increased. It should be decreased because it will be filtered out, it will be removed. So A, B and D are the wrong options. So correct answer for question 17 is the lactic acid. In question 18, during exercise, a person breathes more deeply and more frequently, which is a result of this. Carbon dioxide is removed more quickly. Yes, because when the breathing will be deep and frequent, more of the CO2 will be removed. So A could be the correct answer. Heat lost is decreased. No, when you will be breathing deeply and frequently, heat lost will be more. It will not be less. Less glucose is delivered to the working muscles. No, when breathing will be more, mean heartbeat rate will also be more. So more glucose will be delivered. Okay, less oxygen diffuses into the blood. No, by deep breathing and frequent breathing, per unit amount of oxygen being diffused into the blood will increase. It will not decrease. So the correct answer for question 18 is A. In question 19, the diagram shows structure in a human which form and store urine. Liquids pass through tube X, Y and Z in the direction shown by the arrows. Okay, so just looking at this diagram, we should know that X is the renal artery, Y is the renal vein and Z is the ureter. Which statement about the volume of liquid passing through Y in one day is correct? So Y is the renal vein. Okay, so it is taking the blood out. It is greater than that passing through X. Yes, because when it is greater than that passing through X, no, more blood will come, less blood will go out. Okay, because some blood is filtered out in the form of urine. So A is the wrong answer for this. So in B, it is less than that passing through Z. No, urine is always less than the total amount of blood entering or leaving the kidney. So B is also wrong. It is much less than passing through X but slightly greater than passing through Z. So this is also wrong. It's not much less. It will be little bit less because only urine has been filtered out from the X. It is not much less. So the D is, it is slightly less than that passing through the X but much greater than passing through the Z. Okay, because the amount of blood is much greater than the amount of urine, and the amount of blood in X and Y, renal artery and renal vein, it is slightly different. So the answer for this question, the question 19, is D. The correct answer for this question 19 is D. Question 20. Which response will happen if a person walks into a cold environment? Okay. Hair erector muscle cause the body hair to lay flat on the skin. When the cold is there, hair erector muscle will contract and they will rise the hair on the skin. So A is the wrong because we have to trap heat. More blood flows in the capillaries near the surface of the skin. You know that if more blood will flow to the capillaries near the skin in the cold environment, more heat loss will occur. So we have to reduce the heat loss. So B is wrong. Large body muscles contract and relax rapidly. You know that in the cold environment we need to generate heat. So when the large muscles will contract and relax, more heat will be generated. This is the phenomena of shivering. So C could be the possible answer. D is the sweat glands produce a larger amount of sweat. You know that in the cold environment we need to conserve heat rather than to lose the heat. So if more sweat will be produced, more heat loss will occur. So we have to decrease sweat production rather than to produce large amount of the sweat. So D is wrong. So the answer for question 20, the correct answer for question 20 is C. Okay. In question 21, the diagram shows the human brain. What is the name of the shaded part of the brain? The shaded part, you know that this is the cerebellum, this is cerebrum, this is pituitary, this is medulla oblongata, this is hypothalamus, okay, and this is cerebellum. So the correct answer for question 21 is cerebellum. Okay, a triangular leaf-shaped structure in the back region of the brain, that is cerebellum. It is controlling the balance of the body, you know. In question 21, what happens in the eye to produce the pupil reflex to the bright light? Number one, ciliary muscles contract. You know that ciliary muscles, they are attached with lens. They are not attached with the pupil. So this is wrong thing. Second is circular muscles contract. Yes, the circular muscles are involved in the pupil reflex, they are involved. Radial muscles will relax. Yes, radial muscles will relax because when bright light is there, we have to contract circular muscles, we have to relax the radial muscles so that the pupil will become short. Suspensory ligaments pulled tight. This is also related something with the lens, not with the pupil. So 4 is wrong. So the correct answer we can choose, it is 2 and 3 are correct, that is the C. The correct answer for question 22 is C. In question 23, the diagram shows 3 positions X, Y and Z where nerve impulses are blocked by a drug. Okay, you know that this is the sensory neuron, so it means the message is moving in this direction on X, and it will be going here, it will be going to brain just to inform, while the pupil reflex will come back from here to here through the motor neuron. Which person listed below moves their leg in response to a pin prick but does not feel it? You know that the sensation or the feeling is the job of the brain. Our spinal cord is not involved in the feeling, it is involved in the reflex arc. So if it will be cut at Z, okay, then feeling will not be there, but the leg will be moved because reflex action will occur. So a person with a block at X, no message will go to X, to the person A. B, a person with a block at Y, no, the message will go, the person will feel the pain, but leg will not be moved because at Y the message is not coming from the reflex arc. So B is wrong. A person with a block at Z, yes, when the Z will be blocked, no message will be going to brain, so it will not be sent. C can be the possible answer. A person with no block, okay, when a person will have no block, the person will move the leg as well as the person will feel. We cannot say that he does not feel it. So D is also wrong. The correct answer for question 23 is thus C. In question 24, the diagram shows how antagonistic muscles are arranged in the arm. Okay. Which row describes the muscle action when the arm is straightened? You know that straightening of the arm is called flexion. You have to move your arm in this direction. So 2 should contract and 1 should relax. So the muscle 1 should relax. Okay, muscles cannot expand by themselves. So C is wrong. It should not contract, it should not contract. So D could be the possible answer, that muscle 1 should relax and the muscle 2 should contract. Okay, so this is true for question 24. The correct answer is D. In question 25, electronic cigarettes are a cigarette substitute allowing nicotine to be inhaled without the other components found in the cigarette smoke. You know that other than nicotine, there is carbon monoxide, there is tar, there are unburnt carbon particles, the soot particles, they are there. Which effects of the cigarette smoking will also be effects of using the electronic cigarette? Okay. So we have to see that what are the common damages caused by the nicotine. Smoking increases the heart rate narrows the arterioles and increases the blood pressure. Okay, you know that this is the job of nicotine, because it will raise the blood pressure, it will increase heartbeat rate. So A could be the possible answer. Now let's see why are B, C and D wrong. Smoking irritates the airways and increases the mucus production. You know that this is the job of the irritant, that is tar. So tar will not be present in the electronic cigarette. C is smoking reduces the oxygen carried by the red blood cells and reduces the oxygen delivered to the tissues. You know that this is the job of carbon monoxide. In electronic cigarette there will not be any carbon monoxide. So C option is wrong. D is smoking narrows the airways and increases the coughing. You know that narrowing the air passages is by swallowing. Okay, swelling, sorry, not swallowing, swelling. The airways, they are swell up and the coughing will increase. This is because of the tar. So D, the tar will not be there in electronic cigarette. So the correct answer for question 25 is A. In question 26, the diagram shows the structure of bacterium. In what ways does this differ from a cell of fungus? Okay, the bacterium has the cell membrane. Yes, the fungus also has the cell membrane. The bacterium has a cell wall. Fungus is also having the cell wall. Although the nature of cell wall of fungus and the bacterium is different, but both have cell wall. C is the bacterium has the cytoplasm. Fungus cells also have the cytoplasm, because this is the common. This is not present only in viruses. So C is also wrong. The bacterium has no true nucleus, because bacterium is a prokaryotic cell while fungus is a eukaryotic cell, mean the cells with true nucleus. So this is true, that bacterium has no true nucleus while the fungus have true nucleus. So the answer for the correct answer for question 26 is D. In question 27, which microorganisms are involved in the decomposition of dead plant materials? Okay, now bacteria are involved and fungi are involved, while the viruses are non-cellular. Okay, so in yes is there for bacteria and fungi. In B, okay, it is no for viruses. Why is A wrong? Because it's saying that fungi are not involved, so that is why it's wrong. Why is C wrong? It is saying that bacteria are not involved while viruses are involved, so that's why it is wrong. Why is D wrong? It is saying that fungi are not involved, that's why D is wrong. The correct answer for question 27 is B. In question 28, what is the reason for describing the flow of energy through an ecosystem as non-cyclic? The energy cannot be returned to its original source. You know that light energy is converted into directly heat energy, or it is converted into chemical energy and then into heat energy. So it cannot go back to its original source, that is the sun. So A could be the possible answer for this. B is the energy cannot have its form changed within an organism. You know that within our body it is being changed into kinetic energy, into chemical energy, into heat energy and so on. So B is wrong for this. The energy, C is the energy can only be passed on to its original form. No energy cannot passed on to its original form. It is changed. It is changed into chemical energy and heat energy. So C is wrong. When glucose is formed, light energy will be converted into chemical energy. That is not its original form. The D is the energy can only be transferred to a larger organism. No, energy can be transferred to microscopic organisms like bacteria and fungi. So that's why D is also wrong. So the correct answer for question 28 is A. In question 29, the diagram shows a complete food web. Okay, so organism 4, they are the producers, and these are producers, these are herbivores, these are carnivores, these are top carnivores. Which row identifies the examples of the type of organisms in this food web? A is carnivore. The 2 is carnivore. Yes, this is true, is carnivore. 7 is the consumer. Where is the 7? 7 is this one. Yes, everyone other than organism, they are all consumer. That is true. 8 is herbivore. Yes, 8 is herbivore because it is directly feeding on organism. 4, that is true. 4 is producer. Yes, 4 is producer because everyone is feeding on it. So that is true. So the possible answer for this question, correct answer can be A. So let's see B, C and D. B is carnivore is 4. 4 is the carnivore. 4 is not the carnivore. That's why it is wrong. So B is wrong. Consumer 2 is the consumer. Yes, this is true. Herbivore 3 is the herbivore. Yes, this is true. Producer is 1. That is wrong. So there are 2 wrong options in B. In C, 6 is the carnivore. No, 6 is the herbivore. That is wrong because 6 is feeding on organism 4. Consumer is 4. That is also wrong because 4 organism is producer. Herbivore is 8. 8 is herbivore. Yes, this is true. 1 is the producer. This is wrong. We have already done it wrong. Okay, in 8, 7 is the carnivore. Organism 7 is the carnivore. Yes, this is true. 3 is the consumer. Yes, 3 is the consumer because it's herbivore. 2 is the herbivore. This is wrong because 2 is the carnivore. It is feeding on a herbivore. 4 is producers. This is true. So in option D, this 2 is wrong. Okay, in option C there are 2 wrong. So the correct answer for this question, question 29, is B. Oh, sorry, not B, it is A. B is not the correct answer. It is A. In question 30, the diagram shows part of the carbon cycle. Okay, you know that fossilization is releasing something. It can be heat or carbon dioxide, and then by the death of green plants, it is going to the decomposition. Green plants are absorbing CO2. They are releasing CO2 by respiration, absorbing CO2 by photosynthesis. Okay, what do X, Y and Z represent? So you should be confirm about that. X is the photosynthesis and Y is the respiration, while fossilization after Z must be the combustion. So X is photosynthesis, C or D can be correct. B and A are wrong because X is not combustion. And Y is respiration. Yes, Y is respiration. This is not combustion. So D option is wrong. While Z is combustion. Yes, Z is combustion. So all these 3 are correct. So the correct answer for question 30 is C. In question 31, coastal marine regions are environments with a rich plant and animal diversity. Okay, which process would reduce the biodiversity of these environments? Banning fishing during the fish breeding seasons, it will not reduce biodiversity, it will increase biodiversity. So this is wrong. Increasing the mesh size for any fishing nets used. You know that when you will increase the mesh size, then it will be only large size fish will be catch. So it will increase biodiversity. C is stopping the release of raw sewage into the sea. You know that raw sewage will be a pollutant. When you will decrease the pollution, it will increase the biodiversity. So it is also wrong. D is allowing fishing methods that disturb the sea bed. You know that when heavy trawlers will be used, large ships will be used which will disturb the sea bed, small fish and the whole ecosystem will be disturbed. So it will decrease the biodiversity. So the correct answer for question 31 is D. Okay. In question 32, hardwood trees in tropical rainforest are often harvested for timber. A single quick growing crop such as palm oil is then grown on the same land. What effect will removing the rainforest have on the environment? Okay, now decreased runoff into rivers and the floods. You know that when you will cut the large trees, you will farm the crops, the runoff will not decrease, it will rather increase. So A is the wrong option. Okay, improved soil structure and the soil nutrients. No, the soil structure and the soil nutrients will not be improved, they will be rather decreased. The forest is improving the soil structure, for water holding capacity is increased and so on. C is reduced soil erosion by the wind and the rain. You know that when the crops are there, they are regularly removed, they are regularly cultivated again. So at any time wind and the rain can erode the soil. So C is the wrong answer. Reduced biodiversity of the area. Yes, when you will cut the forest and you will make it into agricultural land, the biodiversity will be decreased, because in your agriculture practice there will be a limited different species being grown. So overall biodiversity will decrease. So D is the correct answer for question 32. In question 33, the diagram shows part of a bryophyllum plant. You know that bryophyllum plants are very less advanced plants. They do not have proper xylem and the phloem and so on. You may not be familiar with them. These are the small plantlets present on the leaf. Small plant falls to the ground and grows into the new plant. You know that there are no flowers being shown, so this is a kind of asexual reproduction, which best describes how the new plants are produced. So you know that the type of reproduction is asexual. So this is sexual, wrong. Asexual is there, so A is correct. The type of cell division is meiosis. No, in asexual reproduction meiosis is not involved, so this is the wrong option. Okay, in B, this is asexual reproduction, this is not sexual reproduction, meiosis is not involved, mitosis is involved, so B could be the possible answer. C is asexual reproduction, not, and sexual reproduction is there, so this is not a sexual reproduction, so C is wrong. Moreover, it's saying that meiosis is involved. In the D, it is saying that asexual reproduction is not involved, sexual reproduction is wrong, that is involved, that is wrong. So D is also wrong. So the correct answer for question 33 is B. In question 34, 6 bean seeds were soaked in cold water. 3 of them were boiled and cooled. The boiled and the non-boiled seeds were chopped up and then placed on the surface of agar jelly containing starch. After 2 days, all the seeds were removed and the jelly was tested with the iodine solution. You know that we are going to check whether starch is there or not there, or the starch has been digested or it has not been digested. The diagram shows the results of the experiment. Okay, so white area is showing the yellow parts where the starch is digested, while gray area is indicating that it is blue-black, that starch is not digested. Position of the chopped seeds at the start of experiment, all these circles are. On the left hand side there are boiled seeds, nowhere starch is digested. On the right hand side non-boiled seeds are there, so everywhere starch is digested. Now let's see what's the question. What is the explanation for the results with the non-boiled seeds? So the non-boiled seeds, they absorb iodine? No. They absorb starch? No. When they are broken down, they are not absorbing starch, rather starch is already present with them. They contain acids? No, acids cannot break down the starch. They contain amylase. Yes, they contain amylase, which is digesting the starch. That's why the color becoming yellow brown color. So A is wrong, B is wrong, C is wrong. The correct answer for question 34 is the D answer. In question 35, the diagram shows how the blood of a human fetus flows close to the mother's blood in the placenta. You know that this is the blood sinus, it's here blood present, this is the fetal blood coming into through these villi, it's going out. Mother's blood is there just here in this area, and the blood of the fetus is there inside the tubes. Okay, so mother blood is directly bathing the fetal blood. Okay, so X and the Y, these are the tubes. X is the branch which is taking blood towards the villi, and Y is the main tube which is bringing blood back. Which substances are present at X in higher concentration than at Y? Okay, so carbon dioxide is higher in X than in Y. Carbon dioxide is going here, and carbon dioxide is more in X, and glucose is also. So carbon dioxide can be more in X, but glucose cannot be more in X, because we have to take glucose from the mother's blood. So A is wrong. So B is carbon dioxide and urea. Yes, the fetus is producing carbon dioxide as well as urea, which is to be removed by the mother blood. So both can be high. So B could be the possible answer. Glucose and oxygen, once again we have made glucose wrong. So glucose and oxygen both cannot be removed. They are not more. In D, glucose and urea. So glucose we have already done wrong. So the correct answer for question 35 is the B answer, because carbon dioxide and urea both are being removed by the mother blood from being produced. They are produced by the fetus and they are being removed by the mother. In question 36, the table shows 4 ways in which diseases may be passed. In question 36, the table shows 4 ways in which diseases may be passed from one human to another. Which row shows the ways in which HIV may be transferred? Okay, so transfer from person to person is the air. That is wrong. HIV is not passed from air to air. So C and D can be the correct answers. Through blood, yes, it is passing through the blood. So it is C and D are correct. Saliva, it is not passed through the saliva, so this is wrong option. So C is wrong. D can be the correct answer. Semen, yes, from the sexual fluids it's passed. So the answer for question 36 is D, because HIV is not passed through saliva. In question 37, which sex chromosomes are present in every sperm cell? You know that the sperm cells are having either X or the Y. X chromosomes only, Y chromosomes only, X or Y chromosomes only, X and Y chromosome. You know that X chromosome can be present, while in others Y chromosome can be present. So saying that only X will be there, that is wrong. Saying only Y will be present, that is wrong. Either X or Y, that is correct. But both X and Y cannot be present in the gametes, because the meiosis is involved in gametes formation, which will separate all the pairs of homologous chromosomes. So X and Y will be separated. So D is wrong. So the correct answer for question 37 is C. In question 38, earlobe can either be attached to the cheek or be free, unattached. This characteristic is controlled by a single gene. The allele for attached earlobe is recessive, so we can make it small e. Okay, the diagram shows the inheritance of the attached earlobe in the one family. So black one are the ones which free earlobe, and the white one are ones which are attached earlobe. Okay, so the attached earlobe must be small e, small e. So this is small e, while the black ones can be a capital E small e or capital E. Okay, which two individuals must be heterozygous for the earlobe attachment? Okay, now we have to see that for individual E, it is getting 2 small e. It must have got 1 small e from the father and the 1 small e from the mother. But both mother and the father, they are with the free earlobe, so they must have one dominant allele, capital E. So 1 and 2 both are heterozygous individual, but you know that we do not have the option for both 1 and 2. Moreover, the individual 9 is small e, so the individual 7 must be capital E small e, because the 9 must have got 1 small e from his mother and 1 small e from his father. So the individual 7 must be heterozygous. So 1 to 7. So 1 and 7 is the option. So the correct answer for question 38 is A. 3 can be heterozygous. We do not know about the 3. It can be heterozygous, it can be homozygous. Similarly, 4 can be homozygous or heterozygous because the offsprings are not known. We do not know whether the 8 is capital E or it is capital E small e. So we cannot say it. So is the C. C is 5 and 8. 5 is not heterozygous. It must be capital E small e or capital E. It can be any one, okay, both of them. So is D wrong. 6 and 9. 9 is, small e, it is not heterozygous. So this cannot be the answer. So the correct answer for question 38 is A. In question 39, which statements about the natural selection are correct? Okay, natural selection can lead to better adapted species surviving. Yes, this is true. So A could be true, B could be true, C could be true, D is wrong because this is saying it's not true. False. Natural selection can lead to extinction of the species. No, natural selection cannot lead to extinction of the species. Yes, natural selection can eliminate some of the species while can develop. As new species can be evolved, the old species can be extincted. So C is saying that this is not possible. So C is wrong. A and B can be the possible answers. Natural selection can lead to gene mutation occurring. You know that natural selection cannot lead to gene mutation, rather gene mutation can lead to natural selection. So this is true, this is wrong. Mean natural selection will not result in mutation, rather mutation will result in natural selection. So the correct answer for question 39 is B. So A is also wrong, so B is the answer for this. In question 40, some stages in the production of human insulin are listed. Genetically modified Escherichia coli, E. coli bacteria are grown in the large fermenters. 2 is the gene for human insulin is inserted into the DNA of a bacterium called Escherichia coli. The gene for human insulin is obtained from human pancreas cells. Yes, human insulin is extracted from the purified. So it should be the first step, this should be the second step, and culturing the modified should be the third step, and it should be the fourth step. So 3 should be so B is wrong because it's starting with 4. It should be 3 to 1. 3 to 1. So this is 3 to 1. This is 3 1 2. That is wrong. This is 3 to 4. That is wrong. So 3 to 1. That is correct. And 4 is the last option. So 4 is the last option. So correct answer for question 40 is D. Okay. Thank you for watching and learning. Any queries are very warmly welcome. Hope you will like and subscribe Dr. Digital College.